situation happened 4 to 5 years ago. My husband was pulled over for failure to yield to oncoming traffic. You would think a ticket and he would be about his way, but the officer arrested him and said that his insurance was canceled. I was confused because he had always said, why take the chance to lose your license over something so minor? After arguing with the officers all night and showing them proof of his insurance, they had to hold him until the following morning. So we had no choice but to wait. So we waited all morning in court, and when I went up to the desk after that he hadn't been seen, they had told me that they weren't sure why. She looked at him, and she looked at me, and she said that, well, he needed to be here with a translator. They assumed that he was an immigrant. After this, he was released because he had did nothing wrong. The next story not only affects my husband, but also affects my son. My husband left for the day to take care of a couple of errands, and I stayed home with our 2 oldest children, and he took our youngest. I get the phone call from an officer saying that they have a child there, and if he was mine. One of the worst phone calls that a mother could get. To make a long phone call short, I had to convince the officer that not only that was my child, but that it even belonged to my husband. I had told him several times that he was the father, and he was my husband, and there was absolutely nothing wrong. The officer stated a concerned citizen had called in saying a man looked suspicious and was holding a child. Turns out that not only a sheriff's officer was standing there antagonizing him, but also a state trooper. And between the 2 of them, they didn't believe that it was his own son. All my husband was doing was going a block away on his bike because the car wasn't ready yet. I don't know why they wouldn't have let him leave with his own son. I had to actually call a friend to pick him up and bring him home to me because I didn't have my vehicle.
30 seconds remaining.
I share these because there is already racial profiling around us. With this bill, it will allow people to do it without consequence, when we all know that it is wrong. Allowing this bill to happen will only open the gates to racial profiling, in the sense that it is the only way of presuming if somebody is legal or not, just by their appearance. We as Americans can do better. We can do better. We have better ways of stopping illegal immigration than making our own field targeted for simply looking suspicious. I want better for my children than for them to grow up being racially profiled because we couldn't stop it at the border.